Hello, guys. I hope you all are preparing well for your ACCA examination. So today, myself, Palak Rana, I'm ACCA member. I am here to help you out in one of the most important topic of ACCA, AAA, and AA examination, which is audit risk question. And audit risk, guys, it's one of those topic which is being regularly tested in AAA paper in question number one, along with sometimes business risk question is tested, sometimes ROMM is being tested. So, guys, you can't leave this topic. So, let's start with this hot topic today and familiarize yourself with this topic. Let's start. Guys, before proceeding about the audit risk question, anyone can tell me the audit risk, what is audit risk? The student who have appeared F8 in the previous paper, so they might have idea what is audit risk. Can anyone explain me about the audit risk question? All right, guys, so let's understand what is the audit risk first. Then we will be getting the deep knowledge about the audit risk question. Guys, audit risk is nothing but that the auditor gives an inappropriate opinion when the financial statements are materially misstated. That means if something is wrong in the financial statement and my auditor says that yes, there is no need to worry, everything is correct, that is the situation of audit risk. Now, thinking like a auditor, what can impact? Being an auditor, being a professional, if I'm supposed to say everything right because people trust on my wording, people trust whatever I say. So, I'm sorry. So, whatever I will be saying to the public, they will trust my words. So, I am the responsible person. So, if I have said anything wrong, that will impact on the credibility of the report which I have provided to the general public. So, that is very important for an auditor to consider the audit risk. Now, what comprise of audit risk? Guys, we have covered ROMM in our previous session. So, audit risk is nothing but it's a combination of ROMM along with the detection risk, which is new, which you have not studied previously, but trust me, it's also very easy. So first of all, let's start with the new one, which is my detection risk. Detection risk है क्या? That means the procedure performed by auditor are not enough and the auditor's procedure were not sufficient to detect the material misstatement in the financial statement. Now, but that means कि auditor that is just because of the insufficiency or incompatibility of auditor की mistake के कारण financial statements materially misstated थे, but he was not able to find that material misstatement, just nothing more than that. अब ये जो audit risk होता है, detection risk होता है, that arises in two scenarios, that is just because of the sampling risk and non-sampling risk. अब ये सैम्पलिंग रिस्क एंड नॉन सैम्पलिंग रिस्क है क्या? दैट मींस कि ऑडिटर ने सैम्पलिंग रिस्क अराइजेस ड्यू टू द सिनेरियोस कि मेरे ऑडिटर ने सैंपल्स को वर्क किया है, सैम्पलिंग बेसिस पे काम किया है एंड दैट हैपेंस नेचुरली इन नॉर्मल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ बिजनेस दैट ऑडिटर कांट चेक ईच एंड एवरी ट्रांजैक्शन, बट ड्यू टू द वर्किंग ऑफ सैंपल्स मेरे ऑडिटर ने सैंपल लेके काम किया. So he was not able to check the 100% population, entire population. So what is sampling risk? कि अगर मेरा auditor sampling लेके काम ना करता, he has assessed the whole population, the answer, the conclusion would be something different, and now he has worked with the sample, the conclusions are different, right? So sampling risk is nothing but yes, due to the working of samples, my conclusions given by the auditor are different. So that's just because of the mistake कि उसने entire population check नहीं की. Now, what is non-sampling risk? So, non-sampling risk arises because the conclusion obtained by the auditor, the conclusion given by the auditor, other than the reasons of sample. That means sampling के कारण नहीं कि उसने sampling लेके काम किया है. Other than the reason, like suppose करो he was not able to understand entity, how the entity operates, how the controls operate. He have misinterpreted the test of control system, right? So, due to the quality practices management, poor quality practices by the auditor, the non-sampling risk arises. अब ये कैसे ठीक किया जा सकता है? That means कि मेरा auditor अपना efficient staff लेके आए, प्रॉपरली काम करे. सो ही हैज टू थिंक, अगर सैम्पलिंग रिस्क को मुझे रिड्यूस करना है तो मैं सैंपल का साइज इंक्रीज करूं, राइट? या फिर मैं इंटायर पॉपुलेशन चेक करूं डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द मटेरियल स्टेटमेंट, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द मटेरियलिटी लेवल ऑफ दैट स्टेटमेंट, राइट? और नॉन सैम्पलिंग रिस्क में मैं अपने प्रोसीजर जो है अच्छे से करूं, अपनी क्वालिटी प्रैक्टिसेस अच्छे से करूं. दे आर द सिनेरियोज इन विच आई कैन reduce the non-sampling risk. So guys, mark in mind that detection risk situation arises just because of the mistake of auditor. And in the case of detection risks, you have आपके पास कुछ hints होंगे पेपर में and you have to attempt those hints. अब आपके पास क्वेश्चन में अगर भी ऑडिट रिस्क का क्वेश्चन आएगा, there were some scenarios जिससे आप को हिंट मिल सकता है कि ऑडिट रिस्क का क्वेश्चन है, ये डिटेक्शन रिस्क का सिनेरियो है. दैट मीन्स अगर क्वेश्चन में आपको बोला गया है देयर इज अ न्यू ऑडिट क्लाइंट, राइट? न्यू ऑडिट क्लाइंट, तो दैट मीन्स कि ऑडिटर को उसके बारे में नॉलेज नहीं है इतनी ज्यादा. दैट कैन अराइज अ डिटेक्शन रिस्क. टाइम प्रेशर के कारण क्या है कि ऑडिटर सारी चीजें चेक नहीं कर पाएगा. दैट मीन्स कि सैम्पलिंग बेस पे काम करेगा. सो दैट कैन क्रिएट द डिटेक्शन रिस्क. Competence of the management, inexperienced team, that can also create the detection risk because inexperienced team है तो non-sampling errors, right? Newly listed clients, so listing regulations जो है अच्छे से पता ना हो, comply ना किया हो. So they are some examples of detection risk. From the scenario, I can judge that yes, this is the question of detection risk. I have to write the audit risk question here. Now, next thing, you have to perform ROMM in case of audit risk, right? Guys, I have told you in previous session also that अगर आपको ROMM का क्वेश्चन आता है, आपको मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट के बारे में देखना है फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में. मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट दैट मींस यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट द मटेरियलिटी लेवल. अब मटेरियलिटी की आपके पास कुछ लिमिट्स आपको प्रीवियस सेशंस में मैंने कराई थी एंड आई एम रिपीटिंग दैट लिमिट्स अगेन टुडे. एंड व्हाट इज दैट? 5%, 1% and 0.5% of profit, revenue and total assets. You have to remember the materiality limits in the whole auditing paper. First of all, calculate the materiality limit and conclude कि ये materiality limit में है या नहीं, उस issue को आपको explain करना है. Then yes, आपके पास जब भी audit risk का question या ROMM का question आएगा, you have to describe the correct IFRS. आपको IFRS का नंबर बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. You have to describe the relevant IFRS और उसका accounting treatment. And yes, relate that विद द सिनेरियो कि उस अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट के ना होने के कारण आपके पास क्या रिस्क अराइज हो सकता है, आपको ये एक्सप्लेन करना है. एंड देन उस रिस्क का क्या इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है मेरी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. I am repeating again and again because you must know, you can mug up the theory from the text. You are at this professional level that I need not to explain you. You can read it very well. But yes, question कैसे attempt करना है, you need to know that thing at particular point of time because auditing में students की mistake क्या होती है? They know the concept, but they don't know how to apply that concept, and that is very important in auditing. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ROMM के लिए आपकी अप्रोच क्या होने वाली है? कैलकुलेट करना, देन डिस्क्राइब करना वो IFRS, देन उसको लिंक करना अपने क्वेश्चन से एंड उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है. अकॉर्डिंगली यही सेम अप्रोच हमारी ऑडिट रिस्क के क्वेश्चन में भी होने वाली है. नाउ अब ROMM होता क्या है? We knew that ROMM comprise of my inherent risk and control risk, right? So inherent risk है क्या और ROMM है क्या? सबसे पहले ये देखेंगे. That means financial statement are materially misstated due to incomplete, incorrect accounting treatment, incorrect reporting, disclosure, volume of transactions. That means something related to the accounts. And we know that accounts बनाने की main responsibility किसकी होती है? Accounts related responsibility is the responsibility of management. So make sure in mind that in case of ROMM, especially in inherit risk or control risk, the main responsibility lies within the management, not the auditor. So ROMM में inherit risk अब है क्या? That means financial statements are materially misstated, inheritedly misstated because the inherent limitations. क्यों? क्योंकि financial statements involve judgment. They involve the complex accounting treatments like cash flow, like fair value adjustments, and they need some assumptions. And what if those assumptions goes wrong? What if those accounting treatments, what if those judgments goes wrong? And due to those inherently risky areas, financial statements are materially misstated before considering the controls area. That is my inherent risk. That means financial statements are having something inherently पहले से ही कुछ गलत है और वो गलत होने के चांसेस हैं, रिस्क इन्वॉल्व है. And control risk, that means the control applied by the management. Control कौन लगाता है? Management लगाती है. Auditor का काम just उसको check करना होता है. Mark that in your mind. So controls performed by the management, control applied by the management are not able to detect, correct and prevent the material misstatement on a timely basis. This is my control risk. So audit risk is nothing a rocket science, but just inherent risk, control risk and detection risk. You must know inherent risk and control risk comprises of my ROMM, and ROMM is the responsibility of management. That means financial statements के कुछ issues के कारण risk arise है auditor का. And क्या risk है? कि auditor gives an inappropriate audit opinion that financial statements are materially misstated, but financial statements are materially misstated, but he gives an inappropriate audit opinion. वो show कर देता है that everything is fine, but that's not appropriately fine. So guys, this was just a brief introduction about the audit risk. That was just a brief before the examination. I hope that was helpful, and please make it sure revise the important topics very well. Thank you.